In our unique journeys, grace and understanding keep us connected.
Christ, I don't think you have to be a believer to know what you should and shouldn't be doing. And when you break that internal no, don't do that, then you're sinning. And that sin is ultimately against God. Even if I sin against a person, I wrong somebody, ultimately it's still against God. So in a relationship, I need to correct the sin I have between me and that person, but then ultimately I need to go to God for forgiveness.
So if you do something that makes somebody mad, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a sin because culturally, like you might be totally fine with that. Like God got you that job, you're out there being aggressive, trying to hunt down money
Okay.
and earning for your family. It might not feel to you that might feel fine, but to someone else on the other side, on the receiving end of that, that may not that may feel like they're like, man, like, that person is way over the top, crossed the line. That was wrong, wrong. You talked about right and wrong. That was wrong, and I might have that view, but but my point is different. Like that's where we have to apply a lot of grace because you don't know those cultural standards, and there's not a biblical. To your point, you can't trace it back to a verse. There's not a biblical rule that says like you shouldn't be aggressive in negotiating to feed your family.
If there isn't a compass, how does God hold me accountable for right and wrong? If there is no compass, like, hey, there's no way for this person to know what's right and wrong, and there's no way for them to recognize a need or a desire for God or a need for like, then how does God hold me accountable? It's
I feel like I have some of that answer because
okay.
I think you just said it actually earlier.
Okay.
I think God holds it. This is why nobody can judge anybody
Okay.
because God holds you accountable for your compass, and your compass ain't my compass exactly because we have different life experiences, different value systems. When they start, like at its core, it could be the exact same value system. But as you get further away, when you pile life experiences on it and all those other things, your interpretation, your relationship with God, like all those things, then it starts to not look exactly the same out here on the perimeter. But it's still important.
Right.
And so it doesn't have to be exactly the same because we're aligned at the core. We're aligned at the core. You know what I mean? And that's okay.